50-story high St. Francis Dam in San Francisco Canyon, 50 miles north of downtown Los Angeles and east of today's Santa Clarita. What you see is evidence of a devastating flood path that ended at the Pacific Ocean 54 miles away. 12.4 billion gallons of water roared west, killing more than 400 people and causing tens of millions of dollars of damage. The sudden collapse of the St. Francis Dam has been called the worst civil engineering failure of the 20th century. Yet you won't find it in any history of the United States. In my new book, FLOODPATH, I set out to change that. The story I tell combines long neglected and misunderstood social and political history, dramatic first-person accounts of death and survival, and a technological detective story. It traces the career of William Mulholland, the man whose Owens River Aqueduct brought the water that made the LA we know today possible. The tragedy that started in San Francisco Canyon also ended Mulholland's legendary career in disgrace. More than neglected history and the fall of a famous man, I'm convinced the St. Francis Dam disaster has vital relevance to 21st century Los Angeles, America, and the world. This is Los Angeles in 2016, covering 503 square miles, a city with 4 million inhabitants from around the globe, and a county with a population of more than 10 million, home to the third largest metropolitan economy in the world. This was Los Angeles in 1860, a former Mexican pueblo with a population of little more than 4,000. There are many factors in Los Angeles' astonishing transformation, none more important than an imported water supply. A close inspection of this photo reveals early evidence, a square wood and brick reservoir, the city's first. For much of its early history, the land around Los Angeles was a treeless expanse, looking like this 19th century view of northern San Fernando Valley. The trees in the distance of the San Fernando Mission. This is what a 22-year-old Irish immigrant seaman saw in 1877 when he passed through on his way to the City of the Angels. The young man's name was William Mulholland. When Mulholland and his brother encountered the shallow, meandering Los Angeles River, they followed it to a bustling frontier town, energized by the recent arrival of the Transcontinental Railroad. This is Los Angeles around 1880, a short time after Mulholland's inauspicious arrival. Starting as a ditch digger, the ambitious Irish lad became a mostly self-taught hydraulic engineer, reading books in the town's only public library, this wasn't it, and working for LA's privately owned water company. When the private water operation was purchased by the city in 1903, trusted, respected, no-nonsense 48-year-old Bill Mulholland was put in charge. Since the 1880s, the population of Los Angeles regularly doubled or tripled every 10 years. It was clear if LA were to survive, the city needed more water. Working together, engineer J.B. Lippincott on the left, engineer and former mayor Fred Eaton in the middle, and William Mulholland on the right, hatched an audacious scheme. They would tap the snowpack of the eastern Sierras in the Owens Valley, more than 200 miles away, with an aqueduct, the longest ever attempted. Topographical surveys showed gravity alone could carry the flow, avoiding the need for expensive pumping systems. At first, they kept their plans a secret. Only a few city leaders and insider businessmen were let in on what was up. Land and water rights needed to be purchased, and Los Angeles wanted to prevent Owens Valley residents from finding out and jacking up prices. When the secret plot was revealed in July 1905, Owens Valley farmers and ranchers, many of whom willingly sold their land, often for more than they thought it was worth, were furious. The citizens of Los Angeles, and especially a few business insiders who hoped to profit from investments in real estate, were thrilled. Building the Owens River Aqueduct was a Herculean construction job, compared at the time to the Panama Canal.